So I got the BMW 328i 2013, and I was having leaks down here on the valve cover. And you see these screws here? They're not your regular hex head screws. This little plug, when you take it out, I had it stuck behind there, and I just couldn't figure out where the plug went. And then one of the back of fuel where it wasn't obvious when I went to put all this back together. But it wasn't that hard. You can use a special, pretty much standard socket. You just got to make sure you have the good kind. And what I mean by that, if I can show you this, if you could see, you want a socket like that. Now they have special sockets. Standard sockets don't work. You're going to have to buy a special tool set to work on a Beamer if you don't have one of those special star sockets. I don't remember what they're called. They're not called star sockets, or they might be. I don't think so. But anyway, I had to also, on the back side of that valve cover, you need a star drive. And this isn't even perfect. But to keep it from falling out, because I dropped my first one, I only had 2 of these. I'll tell you what size they are here in a second. Damn. I don't need it anymore because I'm done with this job. Sorry I didn't walk you guys through. It says it's a BRV T30. So it's a T30 star drive. But that is the biggest pain in the ass. Like 2 of them you can get from the backside, but it's like it's a pump to run your master cylinder on the back side of the valve cover, and you have to get your hand in there. You got to take this hose off, pull it away. You pull off your strut tower, all the plastics. I undo these latches here, and I put wood blocks in to raise the hood all the way, so it's an easier job. Anyway, yeah, but it's not an easy job. You got to look up torque specs for every single one of these bolts. You're supposed to start with the middle bolts and then do the outside ones. It's not that hard. You know, your fuel rail, you just disconnect your fuel pump here and, you know, let the fuel dump out, or dump it on the ground or whatever, or in a bucket, or in some cat litter that you're going to throw away. However you do it, you know, it's up to you. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't disconnect the battery like everybody else. It didn't seem to be a problem, but fuel does squirt out every time you open and close the door. So be aware of that. And, you know, priming didn't seem to be that big of an issue. It did take a few extra seconds to start, but it wasn't like a major thing like when I did my fuel pump on a Dodge Neon, which was like one of my first cars. And the fuel pump in the fuel tank, now that thing, you got to crank and crank and crank to get it to go, because, you know, all the fuel from the engine all the way to the fuel tank got released. This is not that much, so might take a couple of extra turns, but that's it. It fires right up. You know, replace my spark plugs while I was in there. Those are like 6.5 pounds only. I put like 8 pounds on them because I'm like, there's no way in hell 6.5 pounds is gonna hold a spark plug in the way I drive. But anyway, yeah. And also, the stupid windshield wipers don't squirt. So I just took it off. I took off the connector, and you blow air in there, and the water comes out right here. And it's supposed to clean out your lines. And I'm about ready to see. Look at, watch. I don't know if you go. It comes out like crazy when I do it. So I'm trying not to blast my phone with water. Gosh dang, it's hard to hold the phone and do it. There it is. There's a filter in there. Fuck that filter, because you can't get to it without taking your wheel off and everything else. BMW needs to start making shit like a little bit more reasonable to work on, because I'm not paying a mechanic thousands of dollars to take apart plastic and other bullshit off of a car. I'm gonna do it myself. So that's that. And yeah, keep on saving money. Let's put money in your pocket. All right, well, let's see. Here's a little plastic piece. I got to put this back on. watch your head now that you have a hood in the way. Anyway, I'm just gonna set the phone here for a second. Just shove this sucker on there somehow. Stupid thing. It's a little tight. Damn. I might get some lube for that. And I'm gonna flare that out. I'm gonna flare it out. I'm gonna get a screwdriver at Phillips. I'm gonna work on making that hole a little bit bigger. There we go. That's like a flaring tool. Just twist it in there. That's what she said. Anyway, let's get that sucker in there. Fudge. We need some lube too. Let's go. I'll just spit on it. That'll work. We'll just spit on it. Eat your heart out, girl. What if I said that? We thought of it first. Okay. Oh, damn. It is tight. Oh well. The plastic is just getting old. So I think it's a little bit stronger, but whatever. It has a plastic clip. It comes up and down on this windshield wiper. Anyway, I just want to see if it works. Let's see if we got windshield wiper squirty or not. I haven't put my cowling back on yet. I'm thinking about replacing it because it's all chewed, but let's just see if the wipers work. Let's go. Come on. Damn it, I forgot my keys. Fuck, I can't squirt the wipers without keys. Okay, let's go get them. All right. It's a beautiful day out here. Southern Indiana. It's a nice day. Oh yeah. Sun is shining. Here she is. Okay. I do a lot of stuff. I've been fixing stuff for years. You know, master electrician. We did a lot of maintenance. Trained a lot of people. Built signs. Commercial. Everything I did was commercial. And yeah. Let's go. All right, now. Here we go. Let's see. All right. Windshield wipers. Engage. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. We got wipers. It friggin' works. Ha! Yes. I don't have my wipers on yet. But that's all it took. It's the worst shit to be driving down the road and not be able to clean your window off. When you got semis drive by kicking up stuff on your car, and you're like, just wipe the dirt away. You know, it doesn't. You need to clean it off. Yeah, that was great. It was so easy. Just spray fucking air in there. It won't come past your windshield wiper squirters because they have like a check valve or something. Anyway. And this was too deep. I couldn't just take it off and make it work. Anyway, so that's great. Anyway, I'm happy about that. So there you go. Good luck, fellas. Oh, and if you torque your spark plugs too tight, like I used to just hand tighten my stuff till I didn't feel like you should like really get any more out of it with one hand type of thing, your car won't run good. You got to, the spark plugs are very sensitive because the BMWs have high compression and very small clearances, and it messes them up. And by the way, I use the off-name brand Amazon fucking special spark plugs that has like 4,000 plus buys or something like that. Always buy stuff that has the most purchases because that's what everybody's buying for a reason, right? These spark plugs run fucking great, you know. Spark plugs that failed were actually NGKs, and I don't think it has anything to do with the brand. I think it has to do with the fact that, you know, I didn't torque them, but yeah, and I think their torque specs are a little bit under, so I'm going just a hair above, just so I feel like it's comfortable. You know, I've been working on cars long enough. Like the freaking torsion bars, these are 41 foot-pounds for a fucking torsion bar, you know, or a sway bar that goes across your strut towers here. The springs are attached to this. The whole thing moves from here. I put 51 on them, and it felt like hardly anything more, but it did feel like it was closer to where factory had them because they were super ass hard to take off, super hard, and you don't want to put something on with less force than it took to put it on, take it off, or than that they put it on the first time, because, you know, it might not fucking stay. Like, the threads and stuff have been stretched so much, you know, you want it back to, you know, close to or at where it should have been in the first place. And somebody else might have taken it off, put it on with more torque than factory had, but I doubt it. I really think it just, 51 felt a lot better than 41. It didn't hurt nothing at all, for sure. Like, not even close. Like, you'd have to put like 81 on it maybe to start hurting stuff, you know, for those, but it's not going to affect how your car runs. Oh yeah, and I bought this aftermarket fucking, I thought it was a factory one, but it has a different cap. See, this cap comes off, but it has a breather valve here. And there's no tube to hook up the hose that goes to the intake that sucks it. So I just put the bolt. I found a screw and I put a screw in it, so there's no air leak. It runs great. There's still a little hole. The gas vent can exhaust out, and it won't be going into my motor, so I actually like that, personally. I am going to wrap this around so it doesn't accidentally fall down into the fan or some shit. Start messing stuff up someday. But, yeah, I don't want that to rust on there. There, that's best. Okay. Anyway, that's all, folks.